Hey, so today we're going to be comparing what does a 100K a month course or program even look like versus a 1K per month course. What are the differences? And I know what you may be thinking. Well, maybe the 100K one, the people has a bunch of followers and they have ads, whatever, and the other one doesn't. That's not necessarily it. We're going to be looking at two people who have relatively the same amount of following and kind of the same amount of niche as well. But one's making 100K with the right systems, the right strategies I'm going to show you, and the other one's only making 1K a month, right? Which is a huge difference in terms of revenue, right? 100K, more than $1 million a year. Obviously, 1K is 12K a year, so it's really nothing, right? So yeah, today I want to talk about something that a lot of people ask me, or a lot of people ask the people online. Why are some people able to make that much amount of money with courses or with their programs that they're offering, while some aren't, right? Other than other obvious factors like ads and high following count, like what makes it that someone can make that much and the other can't, right? It's a question that I think a lot of creators or a lot of people who want to get into this space, like you, me watching this video, really need to understand. So today we're looking at two real creators with this very similar online presence, but they have wildly different outcomes, right? So let's dive in and find out why that is and what essentially you can learn from it and do the right things in order to have that 100K and not be at that 1K mark, right? So let's look at the first creator. This is Mike Matthews. You can search him up online. He's a fitness and nutrition coach, right? He does coaching, and his course is Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. That's the name of it. His social media presence, 120,000 followers on Instagram, 80,000 followers on YouTube, and he has a podcast which is in the top 100 fitness shows, right? The system breakdown. Mike, in this case in particular, he has a really good email list. If you know anything about emails, having a large email base is super, super powerful, right? And Mike's secret weapon, he has a list of over 500,000 emails. This, if you're essentially just selling anything, is super, super powerful to have that amount of people on your email list. And every week through that email list, he provides them with free workouts, diet tips, and just consistent value to build trust, right? Automation power. Instead of manually launching the emails and writing them, whatever, Mike has an automated funnels that guide subscribers through a journey from free content to a paid course. This really creates a predictable sales every day without needing constant promotion. He has a flow, and obviously you're going to see an example here of what that flow essentially just looks like. But he gives constant value, and at the end of a certain day period or a certain week, he then asks for a buy or for something, a favor, right? So this is essentially what the email sequence kind of looks like. There's a welcome email, friendly intro, free workout guide. Maybe you opted into something. A follow-up, encouraging subscribers to start a free 7-day fitness challenge. Maybe that's a lead magnet or whatever, or more just value. And then maybe at the third email or the fourth email, he's going to do a sales pitch. So he's going to offer the course that he has offered, right? And that's a really good. So now moving on to the actual diversified platform. So not only Mike is also really good on Instagram and YouTube, all that sort of stuff. He also has a really great podcast, website, and blog. So essentially, Mike's content is absolutely everywhere. His podcast consistently ranks in the top 100, and he also gets tons of traffic from an SEO optimized blog post. So he's kind of optimized those two things in the back end to get leads and get people interested in him and his offer, right? So essentially, he gets leads from everywhere. If someone's looking for fitness tips or get in better shape or whatever, they're most likely going to run into Mike's content either on Google, like I mentioned, YouTube, Instagram, or his podcast. They all lead to essentially him and his course and what he's selling. And meaning he's actually maximizing attention and traffic to himself. There's a lot of fitness people out there, so if he's able to get on all these platforms with time and build them up, he's just going to get more traffic to his business and make more money. Moving on, another thing that Mike really does well is that he has high ticket pricing, meaning he's not selling anything really low ticket, nothing under a $100 range. His lowest ticket item that he has is a $500 thing, which is his course, in fact. And people who get that course can also opt in, or people want to directly go and get coaching directly one-on-one with him. He also offers premium coaching at even higher prices. So that will usually be in that, multiple thousands of dollar range, but you get like direct access to him, direct coaching to him, right? And why he does that and why does it work? Well, his audience actually sees the value because of the relationship he's built through his content system. If you're following him on Instagram, you're seeing him every day, you're seeing the stories, you're seeing his results, and let's say you're in his system, so you're in his emails, you're constantly getting free value, you're constantly getting more things to his email. So you're really just getting nurtured and are building a relationship with him without even you really personally knowing him, right? In the psychology, at higher price points, you're just going to get more committed buyers who actually follow through and actually see the results. So it's just an overall better business model to do higher ticket pricing. It's going to help you in your business because you're actually able to get really good results for the people that go through the whole program. Number 4, evergreen content and sales automations. Mike doesn't really rely on live launches like you'll see a lot of people do. Oh, in the next 2 months, I'm going to be launching it, and then I cutting the inscriptions. He has an evergreen sales systems that actually runs 24/7 and bringing him leads and sales on autopilot. This comes from the content. Probably he has a content team. This probably comes from the marketing with his emails, and his YouTube videos are probably being posted for him. Obviously, these are all systems you have to enable, but he can just get course sales while he's originally like just sleeping or doing whatever else, which is really good. And people get pitched as soon as they interact with his free content, meaning Mike can focus on new content and growth while his actual course sells by itself. When people either go through his content on his reels or whatever, they immediately get pitched through something free that's actually going to convert them in the future, right? So he can just focus on particularly creating more content and growing the brand. Is if that's doing more YouTube, it's that growing the podcast. He can solely focus on that because he's got automations and all the things in the back end, which is super important. So now moving on to the second creator that we're going to be looking at, and the one essentially who's making 1K a month or basically nothing, right? This is Sarah. She's an online fitness coach and she does coaching. Her course is Fit and Healthy in 30 Days. Her social media presence, similar to Mike, is 110,000 followers on Instagram and 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. And unlike Mike, Sarah actually has no email list, completely zero. She's only relying on Instagram and YouTube to actually push sales. And essentially this is dangerous because she's at the mercy of the algorithm. And if her posts aren't really seen, she doesn't make any sales, right? So maybe one video flops and she's not able to make money for that month in particular. So that's really dangerous, right? Without an email list, she can't actually nurture her audience. And they follow her, but they're not actually getting consistent value that builds trust and connection like Mike is and makes them want to buy her course, right? That's not happening. So she's not going to need really sales or money from her account. The second thing is low ticket pricing. Sarah's course is actually priced at $47, which means she needs to sell way more. She needs way more people to come in and way more people to buy from her to be able to be close to what Mike is earning. Mike is earning on the low end from one customer $500. And for her, she's selling one product at $47. So she needs way more people interested to be able to make as much as Mike is making, right? She doesn't have a strong system in place for upselling or offering a higher ticket item, so one-to-one coaching, whatever. That's only what she sells, and she's having trouble with that. So while people may buy, she's not actually maximizing each customer value. This means even with a decent following, she's making low revenue or almost no revenue, essentially. No sales on automation. Sarah relies on manual launches. She posts about her course here and there on her social channels, but without automation, she's constantly working to push sales and never really reaches the passive income stage like Mike is, right? Her income kind of fluctuates month to month because there's no really system in place to create a steady stream of buyers. There's no automations, there's no flows, nothing. She's just, buy my course or whatever, kind of a call to action like that, and it's actually just not converting. So number 4, minimal diversification. Sarah almost only lies on Instagram and YouTube, and I do have to say on this point, some people can make a lot of money just from Instagram and YouTube, and mostly what we also focus on is Instagram and YouTube and other kind of channels like that. But she could definitely tap into other channels like Mike's doing, just following what the competitors are doing, like a podcast, a website, and even using paid ads if she wants to do that. The lack of platform diversification means she's leaving a lot of potential leads and revenue on the table. But like I said, I would like to say other platforms for diversifications are not absolutely necessary. We know a lot of people and work with a lot of people who just solely use Instagram and YouTube to make all their sales, right? This is a point I could point on, but it's not that important. So what are essentially the key differences? Number 1, obviously on Mike's side, he is actually building an email list. They build relationship and stuff like that. Mike nurtures and sells automatically through emails, right? Directly call to action and gets sales. While Sarah doesn't. So she can't really scale, particularly on autopilot and automations and getting sales through. So moving on, like I said, high ticket versus low ticket. Mike's pricing strategy, which is high ticket, he has his course at $500 and he does other kind of coaching one-to-one things, which are multiple thousands of dollars, actually helps him hit 100K because it's a lot easier to do that when you're selling some packages which are a few $1,000s. It's going to be way easier and way quicker to do that. And essentially, Sarah's low ticket pricing is actually just keeping her stuck. Sarah, again, has to sell way more to hit the kind of same revenue. Number three, the automation creates predictable income. Mike's system that he has enabled in the emails and the content flow and everything like that actually works for him 24/7. He can get course sales or program sales while he's sleeping, while Sarah is working harder by actually making less because she has no automations and so on and so forth, right? Number four, multi-platform presence matters. Being everywhere, you're going to get the more potential customers. You're going to reach more people. And Mike understand this, while Sarah is kind of limiting her reach. Again, that number four thing is not quite as important as the other ones, but still to take into consideration. So to kind of wrap up this video, what is the big takeaway in all of this? Why did I make this video? So on and so forth. If you're aiming to make serious money with your online course, program, or offering, which a lot of people are getting into, it's becoming very popular, stuff like that. You just need the right systems in place. Launching and getting into this industry without no plan, without no systems, without no strategies, it's going to be really hard. And you're just going to get blown out by the competition who are actually doing it, like Mike and Sarah in this case in particular. So it's not enough to just have a great product. You need to automate it, build trust with the audience, and offer a pricing structure that actually reflects the value you provide, right? And here's the thing. Why am I making this video and everything like that? I can actually help you out with that. Whether you've just thought about having your own online offer or in the process or kind of anywhere in that space, having the right systems and partner is what can get you as quickly as possible to your actual desired revenue month. So if you want to get to that specific 10K, 50K, 100K, you, yes, do need the right systems, but the right partner as well, and the right people who know exactly what they're doing, similar to what all these systems that I showed you today in this video, had actually set those up and actually had to get those going, and the marketing angle and so on and so forth, right? So if you're curious about that, I want you to go to the first link in bio of this video where you can actually book a call directly with me, and we can kind of go over your strategy and what you kind of had thought about launching the whole process and exactly how we can help you with those systems and actually building everything for you, as this is what we do. We do it done for you. Everything you need to have a course or program up and running and scaling and have the right systems put in place is what we help you out with. So if that's of interest, you can do that at the link below this video. And for the rest of you, I'll talk to you soon.